up, Squad? What's happening? Thanks for checking us out. You know what time it is. It's 1 o'clock Central Standard Time on a weekday, and it's time for our takes. I am Jerry Bow at Jerry Bow Sports, and I happen to be hanging out with my man that always is here, and I pass it to the left-hand side, my man Aaron Rabel. That Aaron is Blitz. What's going on, Aaron?
Oh, you know, it's a Tuesday. We got some interesting stuff. We got plenty of shit to tackle. A lot of new money being handed out in the NFL. Some new news coming out. Well, not new, but some developments in the NBA playoff race last night broke when everybody was asleep. It's going to be a fun Tuesday.
It's going to be a fun Tuesday. It's going to start with you guys. 281-522-6336. If you want to get in on the show at any time, big shout-outs to Queen Bee, first one in the house, the winner of the bracket contest, first one in the crib. Always one team, Chris Reyes, Aggies Milkman, always, Alex Villanueva. Who else we got here? My phone's
got our boy Clarence,
late.
Big Boss Marshall in the house.
Where? Oh, man, what's up, Big Boss Marshall? I didn't even see Big Boss Marshall. We need to drop him a little something. He doesn't hang out too often. What's up, Clarence? This show's for you and everyone else involved. If you want to get in on the trivia, remember, there's a $25 free cash app at stake like we do on this show. 281-522-6336. If you can get 4 out of the 6 gauntlet of trivia questions, then you get that $25 cash app. Other than that, we're here to entertain you, sports and entertainment, but you know how we do it, a lot more entertainment than the sports, and we try to put a little twist on it. Sometimes a little twist of gambling, sometimes a little twist of what were they thinking. We're going to get to that. What were they thinking? But let's start where Aaron kind of put the lead, because wide receiver money, new money given out in the NFL. We've seen the wide receiver landscape of the NFL change as of late, and we saw every time that something happened, Stefon Diggs would come up to the plate, which was Twitter, and say, man, this is crazy. Well, he ended up getting his wish, and the Buffalo Bills gave him a big deal. How do you feel about that?
Pay that man his money.
How'd you feel about it right when you saw it? Is it well-deserved right off the front?
I mean, I think he deserves it. And this is the thing, is that he's still got 2 years left on his current contract. This new 4-year deal tacks onto it. And when I read about it and I went and I started looking into it and stuff, the Bills want Stefon Diggs to retire as a Bill. And Stefon Diggs wants to retire as a Buffalo Bill. So it looks like they're setting up just the long-term connection. Josh Allen, like after the news broke, first thing this morning when I woke up, I woke up, opened my phone while I was brushing my teeth like I normally do. Literally 15 seconds in, Adam Schefter tweets it out. And then like 5 minutes later, Josh Allen responded and was like, oh yeah. So Josh Allen's happy. I mean, the Bills are happy. They've got his number one weapon there locked down.
Happy wife, happy life kind of thing. Happy QB.
Yeah. Keep those two together. You've still got time. You can build around them. You can put more offensive weapons. The question is, how much are you going to have to pay Josh Allen when his time comes? But I think holding on to Stefon Diggs is a good idea.
The key here is guarantee, right? Because there's nothing guaranteed in life unless it's when you sign an dotted paper and someone says, I guarantee you this money. They owe you that. Unless you happen to die or something, well, somebody's owed that money, right? But guaranteed, that money must be paid. $70 million guaranteed. And that's where I'm going to start my question, because we see, okay, Tyreek Hill went up to bat, and he said, you know what? I'm standing on this plate, Chiefs, and I'm not moving. And I want more money, Devontae Adams, and I want my money guaranteed. Which they said, man, then you're going to have to look somewhere else, or we're going to have to look for someone that's going to make a dumb deal. Ding. Dolphins, we'll give you the house for him. Well, this is a match made in heaven. We're willing to give him up. Boom, gone. $72.2 million. Devontae Adams, $65 million on his deal. Now Stefon Diggs, $70 million. We go back to this guaranteed. We saw Deshaun Watson get his money guaranteed fully. Is this something that's going to change of what we see in 5 years, you think, Aaron, in the NFL, where everything's going to be pretty much guaranteed? And what downfall will that have? Is who catches the shit end of the stick there?
I called this, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about Deshaun Watson getting his money guaranteed. Then it started leading to wide receivers getting guaranteed. If this is going to keep happening, within 5 years, we will not have a salary cap. We will have a luxury tax in the NFL. You cannot do it this way and have a hard salary cap with this guaranteed money. And I get it. A lot of people out there, well, you got cap guys for a reason. They can move stuff around and hide money and get out of it. Eventually, you're going to have to move to the same thing the NBA has, the same thing MLB has. You're going to need a luxury tax. Something that once you get to a certain point in spending, fine, you can keep spending, but that owner, that billionaire who's writing checks, cool, he's going to have to come out of pocket another $50 million, $100 million to pay to have that kind of a team around your quarterback who's going to demand $300 million guaranteed. Well, okay. Deshaun Watson's at $230 million guaranteed right now. Wait till we see. I mean, is it dumb to think that if Joe Burrow wants it, they wouldn't guarantee him $280 million when his contract comes up?
That was my question. How much can
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, all these guys are going to demand huge money, and they're going to want it fully guaranteed. And unless all of the owners unite, which is collusion, to say, we're done doing the guaranteed money. You can't do that because if you get busted, then you get real trouble. Or are they all going to look at each other next year, year after in the offseason meetings and go, guys, salary cap ain't working anymore. Maybe we need to bring in somebody from MLB and one person from NBA and have them give us a lecture on why we need to move to a luxury tax system.
Who in their right mind as an owner would look at Joe Burrow right now and say, I can't give you that $250 million guaranteed whenever he comes in with a whole game plan, him and his team, and the front page is Deshaun Watson. They're just looking at him like, what has this guy done that I can't? Well, we can't make a stupid decision because Cleveland did. Well, someone's going to make that stupid decision because it's called value, market value. And the value tells you that I'm a younger guy with nothing under my belt, right? Nothing. And I've already gone to a Super Bowl. And I'm the reason that you went and got Chase. So now what? And I'm the reason that you're putting money into this offensive line for the last few years, starting right now. You see, that's exactly what they started doing, was putting money into that offensive line. So at what point do you push and shove and you say, you know what, I'm screwed? One person's bad decision starting to screw and you've seen NFL owners are pissed right now over this whole scenario, and it's going to be a domino effect.
Algie Milkman says Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley I'm guessing, won't get that big contract. Daniel Jones hasn't proven that he deserves a big contract. Daniel Jones has proven nothing except for that maybe he'd be a decent backup if he cannot get his shit together in New York. And I get it. You're blaming Gettleman. You're blaming the guys around him. Fine. But he hasn't gone out there and lit the league on fire. He hasn't done anything that shows that he is going to be even in the top 2 tiers, 3 tiers of quarterbacks. Because think about it. You have your number 1 tier of quarterback in the NFL. Who do you put? You put Patrick Mahomes in there. You now put, obviously you put Aaron Rodgers in there. Do you put Joe Burrow in there? I don't think so yet.
Not yet. But he's
Do you put Josh Allen in there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But he's right there.
But how many do you put in that number 1 tier? 3 maybe? Tom Brady's not in that tier anymore.
Well, he was last year. I guess at this point you just can't take him off. He had his best, stat-wise, statistical season of his career. So to me, it's like, don't get me wrong. Last year, if you would have asked me before that season where I put him, I'm gonna be like, man, like 7 or 8. I know it's Brady, but he's not. But now what he's shown me, it's like.
But you have less than 4 quarterbacks in that top tier. You have 4 or less in that very
probably,
top tier.
If that 3, and Mahomes has fallen
that
off
next
that tier.
I still think he's in that tier.
Yeah, and
I think one bad year isn't going to make him.
I have him in that tier too.
You can't give Joe Burrow that 1 tier status after 1 good year. You can't give Patrick Mahomes after 1 bad year with what he's already shown you. Then you have your second tier.
But what happens if, let's say not 1 year, but what happens if Mahomes has a similar year as last where it wasn't good, not bad, not great, but it's not Mahomes standards, and then Allen has a real badass year? Is there a moment that we're like, all right, let's move Allen into that category?
I think, but I'm still, it depends on how bad Patrick Mahomes looks
to
get him
Allen
out of that
from
tier.
not being in that category. And is it playoff success, basically? He needs to have like a long run at it?
No, it's just longevity of continuing to put up numbers, and he has been. And I think next year, I need to look at MVP odds because if he's got some, 650 or better, I might drop a couple shekels on him.
He's like 850 or 950 right now.
He's due. If he keeps growing, he's gonna be in that conversation of MVP status. I think if he keeps progressing, if he stays on the track that he is and keeps having the numbers that he's had the last couple seasons, I think he's gonna end up getting to that tier. It's going to take more time. I want to see him do it more and more. Patrick Mahomes went to a Super Bowl, won an MVP, did all of this stuff, and has proven that, yeah, he can have a bad year, but I think he can still turn it on at the drop of a hat if he needs to.
I'm a Mahomes guy.
So,
I love him, but
but comparing that, Daniel Jones, I don't think he's even on the tier of Kirk Cousins right now.
no, hell no.
He's below
Hell
Carson
no.
Wentz. Think about that. Carson Wentz, who's been bounced around.
Yeah, it's crazy
He
because I
is
was about
not.
to say,
He is
man,
not on the same level as Carson Wentz
he's
as
like
a quarterback.
right there, like right below him. He's like right in those tiers. If you're
He
being
is on the
compared
Mitch
to Wentz,
Trubisky level. You bring him in as your backup at this point.
yeah,
He is not going to be the franchise changer for the Giants unless something completely fucking crazy happens and they build so much around him and all of a sudden a light clicks out of nowhere. But from what I've seen from Daniel Jones, I don't think he's going to be the one who's going to go out there and be this renaissance for the Giants. So, no, he's not going to get big money because he hasn't even shown flashes that he could be that guy.
there's not even like a level when it gets down that low. When you start comparing people to those guys, it's just a bunch of, it's like a level, and then you look down there and it's just a bunch of dudes with no jerseys. Just like, remember the little pennies they would give you back in Little League? Like, they just, all right, well, I guess we'll take you. That's that level. When you're comparing the Trubisky's, I mean, and lo and behold, he's a Steeler. It's like,
I mean,
what? I'm going to have Mitchell Trubisky? I said, goodness.
it's going to be, I mean, if I'm looking at Daniel Jones, I don't even know if like Drew Lock. That's the kind of class he belongs in. He doesn't belong in this. I mean, oh well, he should be due for big money. No, he should probably sign a 4-year deal or a 3-year deal worth $180 million or $120 million and take his money and just shut up and enjoy it.
They're giving him a chance now, I think, because the new coach regime's going to come in there and see. But if he has another terrible year, it's going to be like, I think Dable's going to sit around and say, yeah, that's cool, after he just found light in Allen.
Yeah, and when I'm saying $120 million over 4 years, I'm saying probably 45 of it guaranteed. Not a lot of it, because if you're expecting him to come in and be your starter, you're putting a lot of faith in something that hasn't proven that it can get. You're putting a lot of faith in a car that hasn't proven it can get you past the stop sign outside your neighborhood.
What it do, Dr. Dre? Alan Denson, thanks for checking us out. It's a What Were They Thinking Wednesday. What were they thinking? Let's get to it. Right. Remember, the phone lines are open.
What were you thinking?
281-522-6336. If you want to get in on what were they thinking, if you have any submissions, if you have anything to say about what we're about to talk about, we got plenty to get to. The phone lines are open for you. Or if you want to get in on that trivia, it's open for that as well. What were they thinking? Let's get to this first one. What were they thinking? The Lakers. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I don't even know what else to say. I guess yesterday when we had Magic on that clip, and we played it, and he was talking.
He said, we would be,
yeah, he was talking
in
past
contention
tense.
for a Western Conference title bid, and we were like, man, he's writing them off.
Past
they
tense.
still got a glimmer of hope. Nope, not to Magic. Magic said, no, we're done, son. We're done. Lo and
7-game
behold,
losing streak.
It continues.
So, the phrase was brought up. We had more starting lineups than wins. Goodness.
They had. So what happened was the Spurs won last night, which guaranteed that it all but guaranteed, I think was the headline I saw, that the Lakers were out. And then the Lakers played the late game. Had the Lakers won against the Suns, which would have been a huge if, in order for the Lakers to still make the playoffs, had everything gone their way last night, had they won against the Suns, they would have had to go undefeated down the stretch, and the Spurs would have had to go completely defeated down the stretch and not win one more game. So, yes, when they started their lineup last night, they had maybe a 0.5% chance of making the playoffs, and you could tell if you go back and you watch the game or you watch the highlights or anything, you could tell that was a team going, let's just get to beach season. I got to get down to Cabo. I got to get down to the Dominican. I got to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. Even LeBron left in the third quarter. Left the building, apparently. I saw a report that he got in his car at the end of the third quarter and just took off.
How many of these seasons can LeBron have before he calls it quits on the whole Bronny and Bron situation? Or is this time as a Laker, is he just going to bail and say, man, I got them in a crappy situation. I told them to get AD, that he would be the guy I handed off to. I had him get Westbrook. At what point did he's just like, man, I'm out of here. They ain't got enough pieces to get my son.
I don't know. And it's not even the pieces to get. I mean, if they keep playing that shitty and they end up with a high draft pick, but how much is LeBron going to stick around for tanking seasons? LeBron isn't a tanking type of player. That's not his personality. So this whole thing is going to be blown up. I mean, in 4 years with the Lakers, the only time they made the playoffs was in the bubble, right? Like everybody was basically guaranteed to make it for the most part. So this experiment with the Lakers is hilarious to me because I hate the Lakers and I don't like LeBron anyways. As a player, he's amazing. He's unbelievable. As a person, I can't stand his fucking personality anymore.
A GM.
I used to when he was young. Now the way he's doing it, you know what? Suck it, LeBron. Go sit at home and watch real players play. Go sit at home and watch teams that know how to play together, that have chemistry, that actually, play unselfish ball, that actually bring in the right type of key pieces and learn how to get along on the court and off the court kind of thing.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Dr. Dre's checking in. I was wondering where he was at. Had a rough battle with COVID, my man.
Damn.
Glad to see you're doing better, brother. Glad to see you're doing better. Prayers sent your way for full recovery. We'll be catching up soon, my man. Glad to have you in the house.
He's definitely happy to see the Lakers bounce out of the playoffs.
For sure. He hates.
I don't know anybody in this audience who wouldn't be happy to see the Lakers bounce.
It's just a matter of LeBron doing too much. He always tries to do too much now, and it's like this is what you heard yesterday. We talked literally yesterday about the Magic. What he said that the Lakers could have had DeRozan. DeRozan wanted to be on the Lakers. Instead, it was LeBron's idea to get Westbrook. The Lakers could have had DeRozan, and then they were going to go get Buddy Hield. What? And then they were going to be able to keep all the pieces, the defensive pieces that they had. Instead, they went that route, went and got Russell Westbrook, a person that wasn't even in at the end of games in clutch situations towards the end, a person that was arguing with fans, a person that was telling people that couldn't call him Westbrook. Think about that. That's where we were. That was a storyline this year. That Westbrook was mad because the fans were calling him Westbrook, and they better respect his last name because his child has it, and he's proud. Man, what the hell? Get out of here.
This
Take
has
your
gotta
ass
be
home. 1, 2, 3, Cancun it. Let's go to the next one.
Let me
What were
see.
they
Hold on.
thinking?
But let me check into this because I just read an interesting stat. The Lakers haven't won back-to-back games since January. Like, holy shit. I'm looking through their schedule. Yeah, they won there, then they lose. Then they lose, then they lose, then they win, then they lose, then they win, then they lose, then they lose, then they lose, then they win, then they lose. Lose. God, dude. The beginning of January, it looks like, was the last time the Lakers won 2 games in a row. That's not a win streak. You have to hit 3 to be a win streak.
4-17 over the last 21. Losers of the last 7.
They've won 4 since the All-Star break, right?
4-17, bro. What in the hell is going on? That team. That's a team that just doesn't. I mean, that's just a team that doesn't care.
That's a team that's just packed it in. They're done.
But do people get tired in the locker room of what LeBron brings? We've heard about that way. LeBron comes with, it's more extra cameras and extra this and extra that, and it's like, man, if it's not winning, if you're not winning, winning cures all. That's why teams usually, when they have LeBron and they are winning, you don't hear about it. When does it get tired and he burns out? It's whenever the winning stops or whenever he figures out, I'm out of here. And it always leaves with people thinking, man, he's a drama queen. And as he's gotten older, he's gotten more into the drama of off-court stuff and then on-court politics, both because not only that, but he has an agency that's connected to the NBA. So you talk about tampering at the highest level, that fool can tamper because he can get players to come join him. Once they're in with him, he can start recruiting other players to try to get these players out. And that's what he tried to do with Westbrook and try to get Wall. And he's trying to make moves on that. Think about that. He's trying to make moves during an All-Star break like he's a damn GM. Sit your ass down and go hit Cancun on the banana boat with your boys.
I will say, if you like seeing this Lakers lose and all this shit, go to my Twitter feed at Aaron is Blitzed. I tweeted a video that I found at Lamont earlier. Somebody put one shining moment, with the Lakers and all of their fucking gas this season and them fighting on the court and them fighting on the bench and yelling at each other. It is what I woke up my wife this morning. I was laughing so hard sitting at my laptop watching it. I just could not contain it. Like, you try to stifle a laugh every now and then. I was just full on belly laughing at that shit. That was so great to watch.
I'll tell you what isn't funny. This next thing right here. I don't know how they got to this level, who, what, why, but check this out. Ref fight. Game over. Watch how those dudes at midcourt are walking. I knew something was popping off. Look. You're like, oh, yeah, they walking over there in a certain way towards that ref. Bing, bing, bing. Look. Oh, hell. And this is at a church.
This is church league youth game.
A church league youth game. Look, referees are fighting for his life. He's throwing haymakers. Ref is like, and then they cornered him. Look, the other ref made a business decision like, man, I know we ref together, but I don't know you like that,
That female ref right there, she ain't having any of that.
Yeah, you see?
She's, nope.
Look.
I mean,
What do you do? What do you do?
I mean, every one of those kids needs to be banned from playing the game in an organized fashion. Period. You can't let him play high school ball.
He tried to throw a few punches. He had to defend himself, I guess, at one point, right? Because it was about to be like a stampede. If you look, he throws a few just wide haymakers, just boom, boom, and then it was just too much for him. What happened? What could possibly happen? What can possibly happen in a game to where a team's so mad at the ref, like a blown call, but you're gonna go jump this fool? Damn.
What kind of teachings have they had in their life? Because these are kids. I think they were like 12 or 13 years old.
At a church youth league.
Like, what kind of leadership, what kind of parenting do they have in their life that teach them that that's okay? You don't get your way, okay, just go turn to violent. Like, come on, man. Like, the pastor of that church needs to be suspended because obviously he's not teaching his congregation shit about turning the other cheek, and you know what? You don't get your way, then life goes on. What the hell is wrong with that? Like, I'm not even kidding. Every single one of those kids needs to be identified. They need to be kicked off their junior high squad. They're not allowed to play on their high school team, not allowed to go to college and play. Nope, you have ruined your career potentially. You have ruined your time playing in an organized sport because you decided to pull that shit. Don't get me wrong. I was stupid as 13-year-old too.
Oh, but you ain't running up.
But I wasn't trying to beat up an adult.
Last call says holy hands on site.
Oh, God.
A bookie not getting paid. Whatever the case was, these kids were pissed and they were looking for blood. Let's get to the next one. What were they thinking?
What were you thinking?
They were thinking blood is what they were thinking. MLB to allow use of anti-sign stealing devices. You knew that was coming at one point. We saw it on the lower leagues, very, very lower leagues. Not even the minors. They were using it at in the collegiate level, and we've seen it work. They say that it actually even speeds up the time of baseball. Are you a sign of this? Basically, it's going to be a pad on the catcher, right? He's going to have access to it, at which it can relate to the pitcher and 2 other players.
Yep.
A total of 3.
So I looked into this a lot months and months ago because college does it. College has some interesting rules of baseball. Like the catcher can wear an earpiece and get his calls from the dugout of the pitches they want him to throw. Fine. You have, a potential of like 30-something different matchups between how many catchers you have on roster and how many pitchers. So you can't trust them to know signs between, 12, 15 different pitchers. Fine. This thing is going to look like a quarterback armband kind of thing, but it's just going to flash up with a digital thing saying, number 1. Number 1's going to be fastball inside. Number 2, curveball outside. And each pitch is going to have a number, and then it's going to relay to the pitcher and then 2 defensive players so they know what they're doing with their shifting and stuff like that.
Theirs is an earpiece, though, because I heard at first I thought it was that they could see it, but obviously that would eliminate the art of somebody looking to see that light up or whatever. And I saw it comes in English and Spanish.
Yeah. So, and that was a question I had because when Vanderbilt was doing this, Vanderbilt, I think, is the first team in college to actually debut this kind of technology. It was either last season or early this season. And the pitchers actually flashes up on, and the shortstop had one, and it looks like an armband, so you can read it. And I was like, all you're going to do is pay somebody to sit in the outfield with binoculars and go.
Defeats the purpose.
2. Ain't no big deal. But apparently now they're going to try doing this with an earpiece, I guess. I mean, the whole point of it, like.
Now, this is a stupid question. Do you think it's going to be like a conventional, like a Siri voice, like fastball? Or would it be your boy being able to record it like curva, you know, like in Spanish because it's coming? Or is it going to be just some robotic voice? Curve.
I mean, that's a good question. Now, here's my thing.
Does a pitcher even need that added, you know, in a crucial situation, you know, trying to get out of a jam, and then all of a sudden he's not used to having this. You got a damn earpiece, you know, and it's like, do you need that? Like,
and Alex Villanueva points out something that it's not far off from what I was gonna say. He said, you know, catchers in his earpiece is gonna hear, "Can I get a number one? What a size?" Like, the thing is with all of these wireless technologies, when you go to audio, because I work with this stuff, when you do that, crossing frequencies is not difficult. Low jacking somebody's frequency is not difficult. So they're going, oh, we're going to clean up the game. We're going to make it easy. You know how many teams are going to have their own dedicated audio guy who can scan and go, oh, they're on frequency 566.38.
Well, the company
Let's
guaranteed.
just see what they're saying.
They guaranteed, I read into it some of that aspect, and the company guaranteed that there is an encrypted network that they run it under, that it's not, because I start thinking, as soon as maybe say that whoever gets a hold of that, gives that to a gambling person, you know, like whoever the case is, you can bet pitch by pitch now, live betting, you know, well, whoever gets, not only the gambling aspect, obviously the other team can get that obviously and take use of that inside the game, and then everything just goes to hell. But you start thinking, man, they're going to run their own kind of network to make it encrypted, and just, it's like, how are we ever going to know if somebody gets into that network? That person's never going to make it known. It's just, to me.
You got hackers who shut down an entire pipeline on the East Coast earlier this year, or at the end of last year. Does everybody remember that? I know we live in a 24-hour news cycle and people forget 3 days after something happens. The entire East Coast couldn't get gas for like 3 days straight because Russian hackers broke in and shut down an entire pipeline.
And they can't get into
You think that MLB teams with their billion-dollar budgets aren't going to have some type of code cracker on their team listed as towel boy or refreshment operator who's going to be sitting in a little room just hacking shit? You're not going to get it out. The only way you're going to stop cheating, MLB, is if you stop protecting the big teams and throw the book at everybody. Stop blaming the Astros. Yes, the Astros cheated. I don't give a shit. I ain't giving back my World Series stuff. I enjoyed that day. I enjoyed going to my ring ceremony.
We'll sacrifice Correa then. You know what?
Yeah, y'all can take Correa.
Sacrifice his right hand. I don't give a damn.
But if you keep saying, oh, Yankees, Red Sox, y'all shouldn't be doing that. Astros, you're the worst thing ever. We should kick you out of the league. Unless you're going to do it to everybody, nobody's going to take it seriously. Teams are going to continue to break the rules. That's what happens. That's what baseball is a culture of. So, you know what? This isn't going to stop sign stealing. It's still going to be out there. Somebody's going to find a way around it because somebody always finds a way around shit.
The act of...
Sorry. Now my blood pressure's up because MLB is so stupid. Oh, we're going to stop cheating. No, you're not. Because you're not taking cheating serious.
Whenever Aaron goes off for anybody, you just hit him with the show enough. Show enough. Yeah. It just feels right. And show enough, there's about to be some marbles because we've hit halftime. We're about to hit these marbles, and we're trying to think of a way to make the Masters interesting. I don't know. Maybe the first 5 people in this race. The question is, how much do you guys know about golf? If you had the number 1 pick right now at the Masters, who's going to win? Would you even know who to pick? And that's where we're going to start our contest. If you think that you know who's going to win that Masters, then you're going to get in this challenge. First 5 marbles. Top 5 places, or not even top 5. Whatever 5 people win according to Aaron, whether he says top 5, whether he says last place, whatever he says, those 5 people that win this race, you're going to get to choose, right? You're going to get to choose one golfer. Once that golfer's gone, then the next person. And we're going to choose them throughout the show. So it's going to go in that order. I'm going to hand it off to Aaron right now. He's going to tell you who wins. Okay, what places. Once we get those places, you're going to have to choose your golfer. We're going to do it twice throughout this show. And then we're going to give those people those golfers. And we're going to have a good time. And we're going to give those people tickets to go to the Astros shindig when I throw it together. I'm going to buy a group package for the Astros. I'm going to take a bunch of my friends. And you're going to be included. We're going to drink a lot of beer. And we're going to see those Astros score some runs. This is our takes.
All right, Odd Squad. Let's do this race thing real quick. All right, Odd Squad. You've got a minute, 20 seconds. Get to your keyboard, exclamation point, play in the chat. I'm going to take number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, and then second to last place. Second to last place will get the final set in this first round. Then we'll get 5 more towards the end, and then at the very end, we'll let you guys, those 10, draft their players. So, get your exclamation point play in there. Damn, y'all are lighting it up. Now, you got, let's see, 45 seconds. 45 seconds. Yeah, I said a minute 20. Yeah, about. Exclamation point play in the chat, and then we'll run this race. All right, let's do this race thing. CC, I see you trying to get extra balls. I don't think that works. All right, everybody's going through the giant Plinko board. Let's see how this course shapes out from all the way down here. All right. And now people are getting through there. Let's go zoom in. Alan Denson in first place. Last Call in second. Pelly Rats in third. Cece, I'm 99% sure you got yours in. Pretty sure I saw one pop up when you started typing in your exclamation point play multiple times. We'll see it at the very end, but I'm almost positive you got in there. Your marbles sucks and it's slow. And it's not in the top 10 right now. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you had one. There you go. You're back there somewhere. All right. Cuse Orange and somebody else. I don't know why I didn't show those other 2 balls. Cuse Orange sitting there in first. Allen's in second. Oh, there you go. There's Allen's. Always one team in third. Woo, you got lucky there, Cuse Orange. You almost got... Whoa. Ah, you get in this little tube and it just bounces you around. Bam, bam, bam. Cuse Orange is getting that commanding lead there. Yeah, there's a lot of blue balls on this course. Let's see. Ooh, Cuse Orange got stuck in this little... Uh-oh. Oh, here comes Donna. And Alan and everybody else. Damn, go Donna. She ended up taking the lead in first. Oh, Forms is now back out there. Look at that, CC. Now you're in fifth. Damn, Donna just flying through there and wins. Good job, Donna. Might be the first time I think you've won. Oh, CC, you got to hold on for it. Oh, CC's stuck in the... Damn. I don't think she's going to end up getting in fifth place there. Nope, always one team. All right, let's see where everybody else is at. So, Donna won first place. You'll get that first pick as we go. and then Forms, and then Potch, and then Always One Team, and then I gotta wait for everybody else to get in here so we can see who actually came in second to last. Nobody fell off. That's important. All 22 people who started the race are going to finish the race, it looks like. Although there's that little red timer up there that shows you only got 18 seconds to get your damn ball in the end into the finish line. There we go. All right, let's look at it. 22nd would be Chris Reyes. 22nd was Dre. 21 was Chris Reyes. So Chris Reyes gets the final of the first 5 spots. Don't ignore the show, but if you want to go start looking up odds, you might want to go pick out a golfer and have a couple on backup in case your guy gets drafted. All right, let me close this out and then we'll get back. We got plenty of show still to get to. Hold on.
And what a race it was, folks. And we have the first pick of the Masters Challenge. And I got a feeling I already know who Donna's going to get because she put Rahm earlier. And Rahm is considered, I know the pound for pound label isn't used in golf, but he's the pound for pound. He is the #1 overall rated golfer right now in many metrics. And that's who done. And I mean this also from a gaming standpoint, because if you go to look who is the #1 overall odds leader, as far as the lowest odds, it would be one Jon Rahm. So here we are. Welcome back. If you want to stick around, we've got 5 more spots. We're only doing 10 spots. If you think that you know who's going to be the winner of the Masters, you put that marble in that race, and Aaron's going to let you know how you'll have a chance to get in on our Masters contest. And that winner will have a chance to get to the Astros game that we're going to buy group tickets to. So if you don't even want to go to the Astros game, don't even worry about it. You just play for fun or whatever. But if you're interested in going to catch those Astros with us on a night game, we're going to go on a night game, and you're going to roll in there 15 deep. You know what's going to happen? Ruckus. And the Astros are going to win, and we're all going to drink beer. And that's what happens here on Our Takes. We try to get you focused and in any kind of event, whether it was March Madness, whether it's the Masters, when it's World Cup time, we're going to do some giveaways. We're going to have some more chances. I need to figure out another way to get in one more person over to Vegas. I don't know when that contest is going to be. I don't know if it even happens. But if it does, it's going to be a delight, especially if I do good in June in Vegas. Then for sure, we'll figure out something big. But let's get back to the show. What were they thinking?
What were you thinking?
You heard them. What were they thinking? How do you like your steak? So, check this out. Joel Embiid, MVP candidate, Joel Embiid, MVP, one of the favorites, went off last night for, 47 piece, I believe. But the interesting thing is, it said that they went out to eat with a few teammates. When they asked Joel Embiid how he wanted his steak, he replied, "I want it burnt." You know when somebody says, "Man, he was going fast." When they throw in like the fast. The second time, like you're like, "Damn, it must have been real fast."
And of course, Tobias Harris is the one who sold him out on this. He did, I think it was a podcast recently.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Or no, he was with The Athletic.
It was
being interviewed,
and he said he liked it burnt, man. How do you want your steak? You know, instead of saying rare, even medium, even well cooked. You know, just medium well. Instead of saying that, a man said, "Let me get it burnt."
the chef walked out and talked to him
And
personally
said, "I can't
and said,
do that."
"I will not burn a steak, dude." Like, and this isn't like. Let me point this out. They're not at Denny's using choice steaks or even below choice steaks. They're not at, let me pick another, I don't want to single out anybody else, but they're not at a cheap restaurant that's not using the best cuts of steak. They're not using a steak night steak that some places get real cheap. They're going out as a team dinner. These are guys who are making millions of dollars. They're ready to drop $1,500 on a meal between pre-dinner cocktails, good drinks during the dinner, 3-4 courses of food, all that. And he goes into a steakhouse or into a restaurant like that and tells a guy with probably, I'm going to guess I don't even know what restaurant they were in. I'm going to guess, knowing steakhouse prices or knowing fine dining prices, he was probably asking for a steak that runs around $165.
That's crazy. I was thinking 160, 180. I was literally
Probably 165, depending on what cut it was and all that stuff, because they
Yeah.
got dry age, they got wet age, they
but
got
it seems
different
like
grades.
160, 180.
He was probably asking for a $165 steak and then told the chef to burn it. And that chef, kudos to him.
Think about that. The
Good,
chef
good
came
for him
out
for
the
having
kit-
the balls to go.
Imagine if you're the
Nope.
chef back there though, and then you're cooking. You know, you're not cooking. You're running your lines and you're making sure everything's good. And then all of a sudden, one order comes across, and one of the line cooks. This is probably he hands it to him. He's like, "What the hell does burnt mean?" Like, I don't know. They said they want the steak burnt. If that fool had to go out there and talk to him and tell him MVP.
Honestly,
I can't do
knowing the way some of those places work, the waiter probably went back to the actual kitchen staff and looked at the sous chef, who's the second, and was like, "Hey, this is what he wants." And then that chef looked at the head chef and went, "He wants him burnt."
Burnt. He said
And so
it twice.
they had a conversation, an entire conversation in the kitchen, and that chef went, "No." He goes, "You go back there and tell him." He's like, "I'm not going back there. This is like $20,000 in tips I could make. I ain't gonna go back there and yell at him." And the chef probably went, "Fine, I'll fucking do it," and walked his ass out there and said, "Look, big fan, love you. I ain't burning a steak like that. I'll burn a chicken for you, but I ain't burning a good cut of steak."
I bet Embiid would be a fan of the burn-ins.
I mean,
You a burn-in guy?
it's not. It's overhyped. That's a Kansas City thing that everybody loves. I had it when I was in Kansas City. It's overhyped. It ain't worth it.
There you have it.
But yeah, you're not gonna.
It's like Gordon Ramsay came out the kitchen like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah.
I'm about to turn this into Hell's Kitchen.
And good on that chef for actually standing up for what he knows is right. You can't do that to a great cut of meat like that. They get some of the best cuts of steak in the world. You can't go and burn it. Man, I will make you anything. What do you want? You want hot dogs with macaroni? I'll make you that. But I ain't burning a steak that literally costs $165. Get out of here with that.
I look up and
What were you thinking?
I see random ass 59 Diner,
Oh,
Waffle.
59 Diner. I miss 59 Diner.
They ain't at Outback. No, they sure damn near aren't. You know damn well they want that Outback for this jerk to ask that kind of chef to say, you know what?
And this is the thing. They were at a restaurant that has a head chef. You think Outback has a head chef? No, they got cooks.
And
Restaurants have cooks.
And sometimes those cooks don't show up, so you got to be a waiter / cook. You're like, hey, you know how to cook a steak? No. Well, we need you. Get back there. You just don't know. You got to be in the line of duty. Let's keep going. What were they thinking? Boy.
Houston making national news. Well, I'm if this is one of y'all, we're gonna have to have a talk.
A lie detector.
Ooh, no, wrong button. We're gonna have a talk after this.
What were you thinking?
You've heard of a high-speed chase. Let's talk about a low-speed chase. It says man steals forklift, leads deputy on a slow-speed chase in North Harris County. And where I picked this up, it wasn't even a local news. I said, hold up, that looks like local. I said, damn. At which point, Ed Gonzalez, Harris County Sheriff, says, never a dull moment. Anyone in the greater Aldine area missing a tractor? Callers reported a male on a tractor traveling on Hardy Road attempting to enter main lanes of the tollway. Our sergeant imagined perhaps a riding lawnmower, but to his surprise, he instead found a male, and then those are the pictures. This isn't a tractor, though. This is a forklift. Basically, this boy stole the forklift. Where the hell was he going? Once they try to pull you over, you're like, all right, y'all got me. No, this fool led them for the next 20 miles. 20 miles. This fool made these cops got real criminals to get to. It's like, bro, you're not going anywhere. Like, when are you going to stop? Like, they're just rolling with the window down, just talking to him, just like, dude, like, where are we going with this? Like, seriously. It's like, what are you doing? And then this is what happens. Look, they said, so if you're missing one of these, then call the police because they got it for you. 18 miles per hour is the top speed that boy got. Where the hell was he going? Once you're caught, those are one of the crimes that, like, once you're caught, you just fall to your knees. You're like, all right, my bad. I didn't mean it. I got kids, okay? I got kids. You just get down. This fool said, you know what? I'm just going to keep riding this thing in the forklift.
I mean, I've giggled at this so many times today, ever since I saw this story this morning. 18 miles an hour. And I've ridden on forklifts. I've driven forklifts, obviously, before. That's a big boy one. That is not one of the small ones. Like, I was driving the small ones. I was driving the small ones that you're lifting like pallets at Home Depot kind of thing, where it can lift a couple, 2,000 pounds and that's it. This is a big boy forklift. I don't know if it was running on gas or propane or what kind of fuel it was running on. All the ones I worked on were battery powered. But
I haven't stopped laughing at this either.
I mean,
they said that's TD Pookie.
Y'all leave Pookie alone. So, but what was his, like, I really want to know what his thought process was. And two, that's a big boy forklift. That would have lifted that SUV following him. I wonder if that went through his head of like, man, I could just bounce this thing around on a dime and go lift up that truck and then keep driving. That would have been hilarious. Like, that would have been probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life had that happened. But
that boy said, I'm not giving up. I'm here for this. And
Dre says that one runs on diesel, and it probably does. You're right. It probably does. That, I mean, what were you, like, I can't hit this button enough.
What were you thinking?
Again.
What were you thinking?
Nah, it gets better towards the end of our thing. This is the first part of ones that might end up in a Hall of Fame. Let's think about a few of these. And we might have to think back at some of these and make at the end of the year, best stuff clips, because this is definitely going to be in there.
I wish this would actually been caught on. I wish they would. I know they usually don't do it for slow speed chases. I wish they had called out the choppers.
Because it's got that wheel like this. It's not like that.
Yeah, KHOU, KPRC, everybody would have had their chopper in the air watching. And I don't know if you could be a helicopter reporter and not just laugh your ass off the entire time you're watching this. Like, this might be one of the funniest things ever. This is like,
I know that was a rough ride with that diesel. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That thing just boom, boom, boom.
Like, my God, what were you?
Boy.
What were you thinking?
I can't stop laughing.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you before we get back to the rest of what were you thinking, because I just had a little notification go off on my thing. Whitney Merciless is retiring.
What?
He has announced 10 years. Texans, Packers, somebody called him Whitney Useless last year before he ended up going to the Packers when he was playing for the Texans. Good career. I've met him. Nice guy. Never had anything bad to say about him. Met him a couple times when I was working at 790. Seems cool. Congratulations on a good career, Whitney. I mean, not a Hall of Fame career, obviously.
I got another breaking news. Donna made her pick. She's got Rom.
There we go.
She's got Rom. So who makes their second? Who's got the second pick?
We'll deal with that at the end. We're not going to deal with that right now. Let's finish this off.
Well, no. Let's get so they are at least picked, because I'm not trying to stick around for 15 minutes after the show either.
Okay.
So whoever, just let them know who's on deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Forms, you're on deck.
And then, just so you guys know, so when it comes up, just type it in and we see it. We'll just plug it in.
Forms, you're on deck. All right. I like the way you're doing that. I wasn't reading your mind. There we go.
Let's keep going. And then here comes Dr. Dre, always needing Jennifer Reyna.
I know one of the helicopter reporters.
Do you know? You got to hook up to get Jennifer Reyna on this show ever,
I
bro.
do not.
Fuck.
I've
tried, Dre.
I don't run in the same circles as her. Even the people that I know that run in famous circles don't run in the same circles as Jennifer Reyna.
She's into just random shit.
She runs in the elite circles.
I'll tell you what circles is not. No, we know we need to be in this next. What were they thinking? I'll tell you, these should be Hall of Fame material. Southwest Airlines, and even when Spirit, when I first saw this, I didn't even see the headline. I just was already in the article. I was in another article. I clicked this, so I'm like, all right, this got to be Frontier. Man gets caught masturbating. If you got any kids, turn this down. This man was masturbating in the airplane, not once, but 4 times. How the hell does this happen? Where do we start with? Whenever you read that, you're like, 4 times. So why didn't we report him?
How long was this flight? Like, how are you gonna now? Here's my question. This is gonna be this is gonna get a little graphic. So if you've got again sensitive ears around, or you don't have your earbuds in, and you're at the office, put your earbuds in. Did he finish every time? Or was this just shaking his little snake down there 4 different times and not finishing?
What's the flight from Seattle to Phoenix, do you think, take? Maybe a 2-3 hour flight? That's where it was, Seattle to Phoenix?
Probably 2 hours. Not even.
Damn.
Let me look it up.
4 times?
But, like...
The FBI interviewed a lady next to him, and she came out and said she thought it was kind of kinky. He's facing charges. They even got the guy's name here. McGreedy is his last name. Let me get his first name.
2 hours and 50 minutes. Good job. 3 hours.
Well,
about.
What happened here, though, check it out. This boy, after going to town, he fell asleep. Like any good man does after putting in work. But not this kind of work. Right? Sometimes you're like, man, you know what? I'm taking me a nap. Well, this guy took a nap, at which point she took out and she started taking photos of him. And they moved her to another seat. And at that point, she told him that he was doing funny things. Now he's facing charges.
But yeah, this is my question. Like, if he did it 4 times in 3 hours and took a nap after each one, like, how old is this guy?
How hard was he going 4 times in a 3-hour flight? He just, sir, do you want any soda? No. He's just...
And what was he? Was he watching like porn on his phone or anything like that? Or was he just going off of whatever he's got in his mind? Because he's got an active imagination. If he can like replay an entire or get something in his mind that gets him there, like now says, yeah, when I was 18, I could do it 4 times. That now at 35, no, yeah, no. I don't know what. This is gonna get really personal. I don't know what my record is for times in a day. I'm pretty sure it was probably close to 4.
Queen Bee said, yeah,
and that was when I was young.
You watching the 3rd and you're like, man, the 4th is just too much, bro. Now you're having too much fun. Or is it didn't report?
Was she upset that she didn't get invited?
Or was it
was he not, offering, being like, hey, I got mine, you want to get yours?
Or maybe the stopping point when he finally fell asleep, she's like, all right, this is my chance to get away. Maybe, in case this fool tries to do something wild, he tries to hold me hostage or something. As soon as he's done, this boy did this 4 times like he ran a marathon. He just passed out, Next thing, flashlight in his eye. Sir, we're going to need you to come with us. What have you been doing? Where the hell did he, there's so many questions here. This could get so graphic. Like where's he going? You know what I mean? Like,
what did he do with the mess?
That's what I'm saying. Where's he going? Like, where's
did he not get him and go to the bathroom and clean off?
Like, what if he's just collecting? He's just collecting. You know what I mean? Like, if he's doing this, like, she could have reported him if he went to the restroom. So I'm thinking he never got up. This man, if we even want to call him that. What the hell?
What were you thinking?
What the hell was he thinking? Let's get to the next one.
Golly.
I told you we might have some that'll be Hall of Fame types. Hit this video. Hit the first one right there. All right. Let me show you something whenever. I'll tell you when. It's a club, right? It's a party. People having a good time. Hey.
Although they don't look like they're having a good time. They're just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Well, you're going to see why. Pause right there. Well, maybe Aaron is right. It is a club, and these people don't look like they're having that great of a time, because what you have here is a dead body. That right there is a dead man. And what they did was throw this dead man a party at the club. So these people are in there. It's like you're just trying to jam and you're like crying. You're like, man, damn. You don't know what to do. And this fool's body is up there when it's supposed to be being preserved. Reports, I went through the rabbit hole of this, and people there reported that he started. What happens to a body whenever it's treated already, right? Like this?
Yeah, they embalm it. They rip out all your guts and everything. They fill you full of fluid.
What happens when that gets hot? It starts losing the form. So they said at the end of this, I was reading, I'm rolling. They said somebody said that his mouth just opened out of nowhere. Just people were like, "What?" His mouth just. This boy was melting. Somebody said, tell me they say he wasn't melting. Yeah, basically, you're in a club. Look at all those people. Look at all these people. Now start it over and see why these blood. That's a dead body. What the hell is going on? If you die, I'm gonna take
Life
you.
clearly doesn't go on because
I'm
I'm
gonna take you to Coco Loco. On my word, Aaron, I'm taking your body to Coco Loco, and we're gonna throw you a hell of a party. Look, some of them got smiles, some of them not.
DJ got on there and said, "Rest in peace." Really?
He ain't in peace right now.
And then you got her shaking her ass like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
This is a dead.
Does that not break? Does
He
that
was
not break
murdered.
certain health code violations?
Many health. I just don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say other than, like I said, I read.
What were you thinking?
Then it brought me back to a classic. We're gonna end the show on this classic. Click this other video. This was 2020 out across the seas, out in Africa. This man dead, and somebody said he needs one more St. James in the name of Aggie Milkman. Hey, give him one more, girl. Give him one more. Hey, that's a dead body she's grinding. Boy, got a white casket. I feel that. Everybody just like it's normal. Get it, girl. I don't even want to touch a dead body.
I don't either.
Like, I don't even want to see one. I don't even want like open caskets. You know what I mean? Like close. Like, I don't want to see it like that. You know, I just don't even want to. And then these people are bumping and grinding. The other ones are at the club, and the homeboy's melting. Think about that. It's like a wax museum, you know. And he's just sitting there, and it gets so hot in the club, and you're just like, imagine if you're up there, you're crying, you're like, yeah, man, I can't believe they killed him. And you look, and you're like, it's like I can still hear him talking to me, man. And then all of a sudden, his mouth just unmelts, just. Talking to me right now, and he's saying the show's over, and we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Coming to the end of that dude's show too.
So,
thank God.
Dun. So disrespectful. The next day after the club, bro. What in the? Everybody's just like, what the hell happened? I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We try to keep it live for you. We try to entertain you. Because that's all we need in life right now. A little bit of laughter. We focus on the internet and everyone going back and forth. Man, screw that. I'm going to hang out from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Central Standard Time with these boys. Hard Takes. And that's Aaron Raybold. I'm Jerry Bow. I'm going to leave you in his hands right now because you have a chance to get. But again, remember, start making your picks right now. He's going to let you know who's on up to bat. Start making your picks so he doesn't have to sit around for 15, 20 minutes and we could go raid Barry. All right, so start making your picks, already the winners, and I'm just going to say peace out. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm Jerry Bow at Jerry Bow Sports. I love you so much.
All right, Odd Squad. Let's do one more race. Forms, by the way, you got the pickup, so let me check and see if you're still in the chat. Where's my chat list? Oh, what's up, Sly? I saw that you're in here. Appreciate you checking out the show. Forms, you're up. Whichever golfer you want, call it out now. We're gonna run another race. 5 more y'all are getting in, and I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place. We're going to the laboratory. Let's do this. And then Forms, when you announce your pick, then I'll just go down the list and announce who's next. All right. Exclamation point play in the chat. Get you a marble. I'm giving y'all a minute and 35 seconds. Minute 35. Exclamation point play in the chat. No, you can't win twice, always one team, but you can screw up somebody else's odds. You can try to screw with somebody else's marble. Forms, I'm gonna give you one more minute. I know you and the lady like to listen to it while you're around the house and working. One of y'all better get to the keyboard, pick a golfer, any golfer that's in the Masters. Don't go picking Jack Nicklaus. His ass ain't playing. All right, y'all got 30 seconds to get your marble in there. Forms, you want your golfer? I see you got your marble already. If not, I'm going to pick one for you at the very end. All right, I'm hitting play in 10 seconds. All right, here we go. Forms, I'm going to end up picking your thing at the very end. While we're racing, Potch Gaming, you got the next pick of golfer. Pick your golfer, put it in the chat. I'll write it down here, and then we'll move on. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth in this race get to pick a golfer. I'm not giving him Shooter McGavin. That's mean. All right, let's see who's... Oh, God, that's going to make me dizzy. Podge Gaming, you got Justin Thomas. All right. Always one team. You're next. Who you want? Oh, you're worried about the new press conference for the head coach of Butler? Yeah, maybe golf isn't your sport. All right, always one team. Take your pick. Maybe I'll pick one for you. Maybe I'll pick a good one for you. I used to do pretty well in our Blitz pick'ems when we did the all four major tournaments. Always one team once. Scotty Scheffler. See, you like that? I can speak French. Chris Reyes, you got the 5th pick. Chris Reyes, just drop your golfer in the chat. I'll write it down, and then once we get to the end of this one, we'll just go in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll pick the final 5. And if you've already won and you're in the final 5, then we're just going to go down the list until somebody gets there. Damn, Alex Villanueva's getting bounced around. Those little things are moving fast. Oh, you're good, Forms. Ain't no worries. B. Hannon wins. All right. So B. Hannon didn't win already. It looks like Virginia Buttonweed is going to get in there. I wish I had better handwriting. This is not going to end well. You know what? I need a bigger piece of paper. There we go. Get this out of my XFL paper. XFL notebook. Donna has John Rahm. We'll let the rest of y'all end first. Forms is gonna... I'll pick his. Podge Gaming has Justin Thomas. Always one team. Scotty Scheffler. Chris Reyes took Victor Hovland. All right. B. Hannon, feel free to make your choice now. Let's see. Let me go back. Let's look at the final results. B. Hannon, Virginia, Buttonweed, and then we've got Pellyrat. Man, I ain't seen you winning a race in a long time. Congratulations. Alex Villanueva's next. JG is in 5th place. Is that it? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. B. Hannon took Rory McIlroy. All right. Virginia Buttonweed, you're up. All right. I'm going to make y'all stare at my ugly ass face again. Here we go. And then we'll go raid Barry as soon as we're done with this. Buttonweed, you're up. Pellyrat, you're on deck. Buttonweed took Cameron Smith. Oh, I like Cameron Smith. Pellyrat, you're up. Alex Villanueva, you are on deck. Pellyrat wants Dustin Johnson. Ooh. All right. Alex Villanueva, you are up. And then JG, you'll be the final pick before I assign somebody to forms. Appreciate it, Biggie. All right, Alex, you're up. Let me see. Where's my raid button? Gotta get my raid button out here so I can send everybody to Barry after this. Is Sergio playing this year? Yeah, Sergio's in it. JG, you don't get to pick yet. Alex, are you locking in with Sergio Garcia? All right, now you got Sergio Garcia. JG, now you can make your pick. And I'm going to guess, or I'm going to assume you want Colin Morikawa, which is a very good pick. I like him. I've always liked Morikawa. Let's see. I got to pick somebody for forms. I don't want to let him down. Let's see. Let me look at my leaderboard. Tiger. I'm not picking Tiger. That's a dick move. You know what? I'm not gonna do my Homer thing. Forms. I'm not gonna stick you with my buddy Jordan Spieth because I love him and I always pick him. He's always my number one pick. I'm gonna give you Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay goes to forms, and that's the final. So, let's recap this real quick before we go raid Barry. Donna's got John Rahm. Forms has Patrick Cantlay now. Justin Thomas goes to Potch Gaming. Always One Team has Scotty Scheffler. Chris Reyes has Victor Hovland. B. Hannon has Rory McIlroy. Virginia Buttonweed has Cameron Smith. Pellyrat has Dustin Johnson. Alex Villanueva has Sergio Garcia, and JG has Colin Morikawa. Sound good? I hope so, because, well, I wrote those down, and those are now embedded in chalk. Or no, they're embedded in concrete. Good job, Potch. Can't get laid. Yeah, I wonder how many times he had to put up with that as a kid. All right, let's go raid Barry. Everybody be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.